The community of Tumahole, that's in Parys in the Free State, has been confronting the Ngwathe local municipality about the ongoing water crisis there. This week alone, temperatures, well, last week, in fact, temperatures there reached an average of 30 degrees Celsius. Let's get an idea now of what's been happening with Ranayeke of the Trust for Community Outreach and Education. A very good evening to you. So grateful for your time. First things first, give us an idea for people who've not been to Tumahole of just how bad the water situation is.
The water situation in Tumahole, in Parys, is very bad in a sense that since 2009, that people have not been supplied or provided in a sustained manner quality water which is very pure and clean, which is drinkable. And it's not to say that the municipality was not aware of the situation, which is one. Two, there are taps in their premises which are standing there as white elephants. There's no water coming out there. Thirdly, is that even the taps that has been set up in the streets to provide water, there's also a crisis with that. One is the leakages that are happening from those taps. Two, there are reservoirs, but the reservoirs are also not yet. There's no water in the reservoirs, and those reservoirs are situated within a premises of the school. Three, even the school itself doesn't have water that runs out of the tap, and therefore people have to move to get water from the taps that are nearer to the school to access water. Even those taps, the water coming out there, it is on and off as well. Coming to the JoJo tanks that are also there, you will find out that it takes about 2 to 3 weeks before the municipality can come and fill up those JoJo tanks. And even so, when they fill up those JoJo tanks, it is not clean water. It is dirty water where you'll find mud. Mud is also part of the water. So that's the situation which is basically there.
Right.
So which basically even, yeah.
And this water crisis has been in the news for quite a while now. Even last year, AfriForum was speaking to its legal team about pursuing some form of action over the water and electricity problems in Ngwathe. Why do you believe that now in 2023 the situation still has not improved?
We believe that the situation hasn't yet been improved for a few reasons. One is the incapability of the municipality, which basically means the Ngwathe local municipality don't have the capacity to manage the water treatment plants, which is one. The second point there is also the whole question of corruption. That is also exacerbating the problem of the provision of water. So those are key fundamental points there. However, even so, is that one could also notice that water distribution in Parys is also very skewed. You will find that the commercial agricultural sector, the mines around there are provided with water. But when it comes to the people on the ground, the people in the townships, so they have to suffer to get water, and in some cases they have to walk distances before they can get water.
How much of that has to do with the fact that a lot of people in small towns in the Free State are without work, people are poor and are unable to keep up with the bills?
Definitely it is so, because of the fact that there's a high rate of unemployment, and the unemployment rate continues to get higher and higher. But one could also see in terms of the austerity measures of government, which is also linked to cutting of budgets, which makes it also difficult for the municipalities to cope with the demand for water that one is also thinking of. So which basically means in Ngwathe there is a high rate of unemployment there. even though that there is some businesses around Ngwathe, like your minings and your agricultural sector. But within Ngwathe, a local municipality, there's still a high rate of unemployment there.
There were protests in Parys and confronts last week, some of which turned violent. We saw active arson in some areas. Is there a sense from your side that we could see a repeat of those scenes if nothing changes and changes soon?
On the one hand, I don't think that the initial thinking was to have a violent demonstration. But people went peacefully, and therefore violence came from different angles. You'll find state violence, which will say that in many cases people don't speak about it. The way how the police are trying to manage people who are protesting in their own right that's enshrined in the Constitution, but then they will violently come to people and people have to respond in terms of defending themselves in one case or another. However, thus far, we still remain by saying that this is a non-violent a movement where we want to address the issues of the water crisis with the municipality and as well as with government in general.
Mr. Aaron Ranayeke, good to have your time. Thank you.